It would be remiss not to call up the main man himself, TaxiJo, written, produced, directed, Mr. Gino Lynch.
I just want to say thanks to everybody for coming out. This has been a dream come true the whole week. Everybody coming to the cinema to see my work. It's the first time I've ever had my stuff seen on a big screen, so a massive thank you for all coming out.
So I suppose the first and obvious question to ask is, when you come up with the idea of TaxiJo, you're forming it in your head, do you think you're going to be sitting as 3 screenings now in a week to, what, probably 500-600 people and seeing it on the big screen?
No way, no. It's evolved it probably evolved over the course of about 20 years, to be honest, when I started writing sitcoms. And this, you know, we started this doing online content, and we've developed it over a number of years, and the character evolved over a number of years. And the audience helped develop the character with the feedback you get from it, you know. So when you put stuff online, it's like a big feedback loop. So the audience helped develop the character as much as myself. And then when we started the concept for this, initially what I wanted to do is shoot a pilot for a sitcom. But when I sat down to break it all down in the script, it was going to cost too much. So then we thought, why not go in between a sitcom and a web series type thing. So this is like a stepping stone, if you like, to something bigger, potentially, hopefully. So we just wanted to demonstrate that we could do things on a professional level and not just sit in the car on my phone talking about Boris Johnson or something.
I mean, looking at the people that you got involved, obviously, particularly the actors, obviously Charlie, Leah, Martin, Donald O'Hanlon, who's such a well-known face around Uri. I mean, give us an idea of how easy or difficult was it to convince them to get involved in that idea that you said you probably come up with maybe 20 years ago initially?
Yeah, well, the concept of this came up with it about 3 years ago, and it took about 3 years to get off the ground. And I'd say Leah was the first that got involved out of the actors, because it was probably the first episode that I wrote, and I think we had about 5 or 6 filming days that we had to cancel. It was just a really hard thing to get off the ground. But we eventually got there in the end, and yeah, it was amazing. Like, all these people wanted to get involved, and Charlie Austin was involved. I remember getting an email address of his agent, contacted the agent, and thought, he'll never do it. He did. I said, whoa. But because when I wrote the part for the last episode, he's the guy that I had in my head from day dot. He was just in my head, and after looking at the episode, I think he's such a unique, charismatic, great performer. He's so original. I wouldn't swap him for anybody else in the world. I thought he was just amazing. I just want to say a few thank yous. Anthony Breen, he's here, isn't he? Yeah, Anthony Breen, Becky Wilson, and Johnny as well. Johnny Waite, is he still here? Well, you think he was here. But anyway, so we had a week of night shoots to get this up and running and get the ball rolling. And honestly, if it wasn't for those guys, we probably would still be in pre-production. And they came in, like Becky and Anthony came in, and they done it for free. They wouldn't take any money. And when we were doing the night shoot, it was such a great community atmosphere. It was really, everyone's just having a really good time, and they helped create that atmosphere on set. So a huge thank you to you two guys, and to Johnny and everybody else involved, everybody else who put their free time in, all George.
I suppose one of the key questions that there'd be some in this room that maybe are seeing TaxiJo for the first time, some maybe seeing it because they worked on it this time. For maybe a few of us that are here from Uri, have seen him evolve, online, and seen the character evolve over the last number of years. What's next for the character of TaxiJo?
Well, I think we're onto something. We're onto something, I think, with the character, in the sense that he is very familiar in a lot of ways. In terms of his archetype, he's an idiot, but the way he's like, we know a lot about this, don't we? But he's very out of sync with the modern world, and we're going through a bit of a technology revolution in so many different areas. So I find it very easy to write for the character because he's so out of sync with so many different elements.
Pestering you if you want to give us an insight into that one.
Yeah, so we were out for doing a night shoot, and there's this guy in the back of shot, jumping in the back of shot, this drunken guy, going, you, in the back of shot. So we were trying to get him out of shot, right? Go around the corner there. He says, oh, I just want to buy a chip. I just want to buy a chip in the pizza shop, right? And you go and buy a chip. What are you doing? And he goes, what are you doing phoning down there? And I goes, it's TaxiJo. And he goes, who the fuck's TaxiJo? And he goes, you in the BBC? No, we're not in the BBC. He says, can a man not go for a fucking chip like being filmed? And it was the most surreal moment of my career because it was the first time that TaxiJo had met TaxiJo.
She was in the first episode. You said it was the first episode you wrote, and she's sitting pretty close to us here. Leah O'Rourke. Musical chairs, yeah. Leah, I suppose as a Newry person, as a Newry native, and you related to Gino, is that right?
Yeah, I'm Gino's first cousin.
Gino's first cousin. So, I mean, to get involved in something that I suppose I don't know whether showcases Newry is the right term, but certainly highlights Newry. Was that something that it was an easy decision to make to get involved?
Yeah, it was a very easy decision to make. I'd done a sketch before with Gino, remember Maggie Thatcher's Revenge?
Oh, yeah.
And I had great crack on that, and I'd seen TaxiJo, and I thought to myself, God, I'd love to be in an episode of that, but I didn't want to ask, because I didn't want Gino to feel like, oh, I have to cast her, my cousin's asked to be in it now, do you know what I mean? So when Gino approached me, it was an easy yes.
And I mean, looking at how it's turned out, obviously you've been Derry Girls and you've seen it take off and go through the absolute roof, but seeing from what Gino's done, and as we touched on earlier, taking the character from filming content on your phone to being put on and playing the big screen, I mean, how proud are you, your cousin, the fact that it's got this far?
So proud of Gino, honestly. The work is class, it's at such a professional standard, and Gino's very experienced, he has his film degrees, crew on Derry Girls, but the opening of that was unbelievable, all the shots with the drone and everything, it should be out there on TV, it's absolutely class, so I'm so proud.
I mean, that's one thing that probably Gino touched on, the production values in it, are through the roof. I mean, it's a brilliant production if you're looking at it from the technical aspect of it. I mean, is that something that is obviously hugely important, particularly when you're putting it on a cinema screen?
Yeah, it's definitely so important. Like Gino had an amazing team working with him, and Anthony Breen's fantastic cinematographer, and it's just amazing to see his work on the big screen. It's fantastic.
And for you, what's up next for you? I believe there's a bit of dancing going on.
Yeah, I'm currently doing Dancing with the Stars for RTE1. It's going terribly. No, I cannot dance at all, so it's just tune in for some car crash television on the 8th of January.
And if TaxiJo makes it to a fully fledged movie or a fully fledged sitcom, are you given a commitment here to sign up and reprise your role?
Yes, definitely, absolutely, I'd love to.
And make sure you get to the correct airport this time.
Yeah.
Then, listen, thanks Leah. Give Leah a big hand. Two more. Martin Rogan sitting up in the corner there, if you can down on the stage, please.
Round one.
So
He's not in the right position.
there's a big drop over there. So
Let's keep it clean.
How does your acting career go in comparison to boxing the head of somebody in the Odyssey in front of about 10 or 12,000 people?
There's a big difference. You get a sore face every time you win. I'll leave the acting to the audience. They can decide that, but that's sort of it. The only thing that resembles is boxing in the films is the part where they say cut. No, but every one of them. It is pretty much, but no, even to be involved in it with Gino, even to be asked to go down was fantastic. I've done a few other things, but that there from start to finish, or from it went on, I was just laughing away through. It was fantastic. Well written, well produced. Everything about it was fantastic, and I miss fighting. But you can be an actor forever.
Fair enough. Definitely. I mean, you've shared a lot of sort of screen time there with John Lynch. I mean, how good was that? I mean, somebody that's obviously is such a big name in the game.
Legend, absolute legend. Just even, he's just so good. Stop moving. I'm not gonna hit you. He's so good. John is
He made up all the dialogue. Like John improvised all the dialogue, so we were just trying to keep up with him, That was funny.
I was actually that's what I was laughing at. I was sitting with my daughter there. Sorry, Mother. No, when it came on there with John, absolute legend. When he said that, here, even at the set, he was rattling off some stuff. I didn't know whether it was part of the script. It got this stage where saying
after the first take with John and the weights, and Ro, you're up to right now. I goes, did you send me the right script?
It was one of them always said you're looking at a legend of TV, and then he's your mate now. He's besties with, taking phone numbers and all. Not that he'll ever ring me, maybe he's in a fight or something, he'll ring me in. He can't get a drink at the bar, well, I'll ring Rogie here. Maybe do any bar, mate. But no, just to be the whole setup was fantastic. Even them, just them clips. Yeah, like one of the other funny parts was the mayor. Is he even here? Is he? No,
he's not here.
He's not here. He's probably bored anyway. And one of the part where he's sitting there, and it says about the eyes.
Yeah.
And that's when we crossed there. I crossed my eyes in the clip looking at him. It turned out to be a bit of a comic, even while writing it, all the writing bits of it, just the own B bits that you were individually adding in, it made it so funny. Like, one of the parts with
when he first took his sunglasses off, it crumpled in his hands. So I had to tape the sunglasses up for the second take. Like, go easy on the sunglasses. He lifted them off like that there and they just disintegrated.
I was actually waiting when that come on there to see what was still broken. I forgot that was part of the continuity, you changed him. But it was good. Actually, that morning there, I got a bit of brain fog. I just couldn't remember a line whatsoever. It got the stage where Gino says, bring that one of them computer pages over to here. So the mayor's sitting there, and my eyes have glasses, I couldn't put them on. And he has it there, hang on. And then part of the clip where you can see me going like that. It was the worst one I ever done. Couldn't get any closer. I was just waiting for somebody to come over and whispering all the words in my ear. But no, that aside, no. Anything that I get involved in, I always put my whole heart into it. Should it be boxing, acting, or anything else? I just enjoy being. That's why I'm the People's Champ. I just enjoy being. Tickets are on sale, £30.
Rogie, you're a taxi driver, obviously, as well. just to sort of, sorry, just to clarify that.
Taxi Rogue.
I mean, do you see, Gino said like the characters about like a Frankenstein and about 20, 30 different taxi drivers he's met. Can you relate that a lot of that?
Don't the look like one?
That's not what I was getting at, like.
No. Yeah, I can't relate to everything, or even from when I was a kid. I've been taxiing a long time. Sorry, TaxiJo, probably longer than you. You wouldn't. I heard. But no, it was very good. It's everything that TaxiJo done was absolutely fantastic, because that's the way it does. But you get roped into conversations that you don't want to get roped into. You don't want to. It all depends on who you work for. When you work in the city centre of Belfast, they report you after asking you a question. They'll ask you your opinion on something, and then if you don't give the narrative that they want to hear, they ring up the company and go, "That's a dirty driver you have." The way he spoke to me, it's only because he didn't agree with him. Uber's exactly the same. I work for Uber as well. But just that brings back so much. Even country taxiing is a lot more fun, I'd say, than city centre taxiing. It's very, very not as comical as when somebody's throwing up over the back of your head. Not again.
And did you impart any wisdom to Gino when you're filming in terms of the actual how a taxi driver operates, or did you just let him get on with it?
No, I was hoping he would have told me something different from Wayne, you know, because I just can't seem to earn money anywhere because I don't want to be there. No, that just, everything about that was just nailed by Gino with you. I didn't need to add anything, or not that he needed any thing from me. It was just fantastic just to be part of it. It was great to be asked to be doing it, you know, so I was really happy.
Brilliant. Big hand for Rogie.